All right, welcome back, everyone, to Cybersecurity Unmasked. This is the podcast from us here at IT BizTech.
Great to be back.
If you tuned in for our last deep dive, you'll remember we talked about moving a client from their old server room into a modern data center setup.
Yeah, that was a good one. And today, we're actually keeping the conversation right here, within IT BizTech.
We are.
We're pulling back the curtain a bit on something we actually dealt with not too long ago.
Think of it as getting a real sort of behind-the-scenes look.
Exactly. The challenges we see day to day and, how we work through them with businesses like yours.
So today, we're going to dig into a really significant tech transformation we handled.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when a business is running its core inventory on a system that's, well, let's just say it predates pretty much widespread internet use?
Yeah, we're talking 26 years old. Seriously.
26 years. So we'll walk you through the problems we found the moment they knew, okay, we have to change, what that upgrade journey looked like, from our side.
And the impact, the real results.
Exactly. So if you've ever looked at your own systems and maybe thought, these are getting a bit long in the tooth, or you're just worried about the security around your core tech.
Then this deep dive is definitely for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Try to picture 1999.
Floppy disks.
Oh.
Dot matrix printers.
Yeah, exactly. And this client, their entire inventory system, it was built for Windows 95.
Wow.
Now, jump forward 26 years. And incredibly, that same system, it was still the absolute backbone of their operations.
And this isn't hypothetical. This was a real client right here in the GTA.
Right here, we saw it firsthand.
And it wasn't just, old software. The bigger issue really was that it was running on Windows XP.
Yeah, an operating system that Microsoft stopped supporting with security updates, years ago?
Years ago. And you have to stop and think what that actually means for your critical business data.
It's like leaving the vault door wide open, isn't it? Just hoping nobody notices.
Precisely.
And look, for over 2 decades, their view was, hey, it works.
It worked. Sort of.
Right. It tracked stock. It printed the reports they needed. But underneath that, there were some serious limitations piling up. Real risks we had to tackle.
Yeah, and a huge one was just the complete lack of real-time data.
Oh, definitely. Inventory counts were always lagging behind reality.
Which makes accurate planning, forecasting, basically impossible.
Completely impossible. How do you order stock if you don't know what you actually have right now?
And then there's the whole integration headache.
Nightmare, really. This old system, it was like an island. It just couldn't talk to anything modern.
Like their point of sale. E-commerce.
Yeah.
Shipping software.
Nothing. None of it. Which meant
hours and hours of manual workarounds. Yeah. People entering the same data in multiple places.
Yeah, just bridging those gaps manually. Think of the time wasted, the potential for errors.
And accessibility was another big one. It was literally stuck on one computer.
In the back office somewhere, yeah.
So warehouse teams needing info. Managers needing remote access.
Out of luck. Totally bottlenecked by that one machine.
Not ideal.
Not at all. And you also had the support problem. A black hole, really.
The original developer.
Long gone. Vanished.
Yeah.
So if something broke, a critical bug appeared, or they needed even a small change.
There's nobody to call. They were completely on their own with this fragile system.
But honestly, from our perspective, the security angle, that was probably the most alarming thing.
Oh, absolutely. Running Windows XP, an unsupported OS.
It just left their entire inventory system wide open, vulnerable to, all sorts of cyber attacks, malware.
Ransomware, even. It wasn't just about, the system might be slow. It was about the potential for complete data loss.
Catastrophic data loss.
Yeah.
And huge business disruption. It was, frankly, a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, it really was.
And, often there's a final straw, right? For this client, it happened when someone in the warehouse...
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, they accidentally unplugged the server, just pulled the plug, wiped out 2 full days of inventory updates, just gone.
Ouch. That makes the risk very, very real, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It wasn't an abstract warning anymore. It was tangible. It hit their bottom line right then and there.
And that right there, that was the enough is enough moment.
That was it. Leadership finally looked at it and said, okay, this isn't just inefficient anymore.
It's holding us back. It's putting us at huge risk.
They realized they'd outgrown it years ago, really, and that getting a modern, future-proof solution wasn't just a nice to have.
It was essential, a business necessity.
Exactly. And that's when they picked up the phone and called us here at IT BizTech.
Right, to help them figure out, okay, what's the path forward?
So we jumped in, and step one for us always is a really deep dive audit of what they actually have.
We look at everything that old system does, what's still working, surprisingly.
Yeah, sometimes parts still are.
What's causing the daily headaches, the pain points, and what are those absolute must-have functions for the new system?
And you know what we almost always find during these audits?
Let me guess. Shadow IT.
You got it. Because the official system couldn't keep up, employees had created their own little workarounds, spreadsheets, sticky notes.
Personal databases, maybe.
You name it. And finding that stuff is so important. It tells you what the real needs are where the official tech is failing them.
Okay, so audit done. What's next? Choosing the new foundation.
Precisely. We worked really closely with them, shoulder to shoulder, to pick out a modern cloud-based inventory system.
Tailored to their specific business, right? Not just any off-the-shelf thing.
Absolutely. Key things we looked for were real-time tracking, obviously. Seamless integration was huge, talking to accounting, payroll, everything else.
Remote access, definitely.
Yep. And robust security, automated backups, non-negotiables.
And in this case, we ended up recommending a hybrid cloud approach.
We did, yeah. It gave them the right balance of accessibility and the specific security controls they needed.
Got it. So platform chosen. Now comes the scary part for many people.
Yeah.
The data.
Ah, the data migration maze. And with 26 years of history, that's not a maze, that's an odyssey.
I bet. How long did that take?
It was meticulous. Took about 5 months, all told.
5 months just for the data.
Just for the data, extracting it carefully, cleaning it. I mean, imagine the duplicates, the typos, the outdated info after 26 years.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Data cleansing must have been massive.
It was. And then transferring it securely to the new platform.
And you can't just flip a switch on that. You need testing.
Loads of testing. We ran multiple full test migrations. Why? To guarantee accuracy, first off.
And crucially, to make sure their daily operations weren't disrupted during the final cutover.
Zero disruption was the goal. That level of planning, it's just essential for these big upgrades.
Okay, data's migrated, clean, tested. Now you need the people to actually use the new system.
Right. Empowering the team. We didn't just, throw the software at them.
No, flip the switch moment.
Definitely not. We rolled it out in phases. Each new piece of functionality came with hands-on, in-person training.
Which is vital. Get people comfortable, confident.
Exactly. It minimizes resistance, boosts adoption, and keeps their workflows running smoothly during the transition.
And then the integration piece, you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, and this was a real game changer for them. The new platform wasn't an island anymore. It became the central hub.
Connecting things that were totally separate before.
Totally separate. Online sales portals, warehouse barcode scanners, mobile devices for updates on the floor.
Supplier tracking, customer orders.
All of it.
Yeah.
All talking to the inventory system and often to each other. That level of integration, it just skyrockets efficiency and visibility.
You can actually see what's happening across the business in real time.
Well, the first time, maybe ever for them.
And finally, security. Given where they started, this must have been top of mind.
Top priority. We layered in robust security. Automated updates were key, always having the latest patches.
Proper firewalls, intrusion detection.
Yep, and automatic encrypted cloud backups. Protect the data, ensure business continuity if anything unforeseen happens.
Addressing all those massive risks from the old XP system.
Head on, giving them a much, much more resilient and secure foundation.
So the big question, did it all pay off?
Oh.
What were the results?
The results were pretty dramatic and pretty quick, actually.
Like what? Give us some numbers.
Okay, inventory accuracy. It jumped by 97%.
97%. Just think about the reduction in errors,
Yeah.
in waste.
Huge impact. And order fulfillment times, they dropped by 40%.
40% faster. That means happier customers.
Definitely happier customers. And fewer warehouse errors, too, which streamlined things internally.
And the team. What about them?
They got that flexibility they desperately needed. Remote access via tablets, phones, checking inventory from anywhere.
Big morale booster, I bet.
Absolutely. Plus, that integration with accounting.
No more manual data entry.
Countless hours saved, freed up their finance team for more valuable work.
But maybe the biggest win, and it's hard to quantify.
Peace of mind.
Exactly. No more constant low-level anxiety about the server crashing or a security breach.
That underlying worry was just gone, which is massive for any business owner.
So let's bring it back to the listener. What are the key takeaways here from this, real-world IT biz tech experience?
Well, I think the first thing is if you are still relying on really outdated tech, especially for something core like inventory,
You're not just missing out on efficiency gain.
no, you're actively exposing your business to really significant security risks, downtime, data loss. It's serious.
And upgrading isn't just about getting shiny new software, is it?
Not at all. It's about unlocking automation. It's about enabling your business to scale.
Paving the way for future growth, really,
Yeah.
setting that foundation.
Right. And modern cloud solutions, they just offer so much baked in security, reliability, that crucial integration capability.
They're designed to work with the other tools you already use.
Exactly. But as the story shows, that upgrade process, especially from a really old legacy system,
It takes careful planning.
meticulous planning, a phased approach, and honestly, having expert guidance, someone who's done it before.
Like us here at IT BizTech.
Like us, to make sure it's smooth, data stays intact, and the business keeps running.
So hopefully this deep dive into a real client story, one of our projects, has given you some food for thought.
Yeah, take a hard look at your own IT infrastructure. Are there any 26-year-old warm blankets hiding in there?
That might actually be full of holes.
Could be.
So if this story sounds familiar, if you're facing similar challenges with outdated systems, or you're just curious about how we at IT BizTech can help you make that move,
From legacy to modern, secure cloud solutions.
you definitely encourage you to reach out.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find all the info, get in touch with our team over at itbiztech.com.
We're here to help map out that path, make it as stress-free as possible from where you are now to where you need to be.
It's what we do.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into upgrading a legacy inventory system.
Yeah, hope it was insightful. We'll be back next time with another look behind the cybersecurity curtain right here from IT BizTech.
Until then,
Stay secure.
stay secure.